Get this started. Hey, Vicki, Crystalline, and Miss Allie. Thank you. Thank you for coming on here and for your beautiful presence here. Me and Allie have known each other, I don't know, maybe a couple years now?
Yeah, going on 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a while. And we have talked back and forth. She's had healings for me, which I used to call healings, but yeah, and just amazing. Well, she came up with some questions that are perfect, and I wanted to bring her forward so that, because there's a lot of people asking me the same questions, so it's perfect all the way around. So if I'm feeling into right now, we'll do the breath, and then everybody can ground. I feel Astron and Airion already here. I'm not sure if they're going to come through for this. They're so funny. They're telling me, you got it. So whatever that means, I just allow. So let's do the breath, and that will ground you and energize you all at the same time, so that you're just receiving it in a calming experience. So as I have showed before, breathe through your nose, deep into your belly, deep into your sexual organs, and then lock it into your Gaia now. And one more time. One more time. Now just feel your body. Yes.
Little bird came to join us on the tree outside the window.
I love it. I love it. It feels like Jackie. That's so funny. As soon as you said that, it felt like Jackie. So thank you for your presence here.
Okay. Hi, Jackie.
Absolutely. So, wow, I got chills all over me, like right here. So thank you for that. Wow. And there is something that Allie wanted to bring up, was about protection. And I have made videos about this, and that it's good to, because we're always shifting and changing. Energy is always shifting and changing. And so Allie had brought up some really good points that, you know, needed to be shared. And it's always good when somebody else is bringing forth questions. Yeah, that always just feels so comforting to me. You know, yes. Absolutely. So one of the questions that Allie had asked, I will let you bring it forward, sweetheart. And whatever else you want to bring forward for the collective.
Okay, thank you. All right. So just thank you for being here, Vicki Lynn. I want to say that first, because I'm so grateful. And basically, okay, so Vicki Lynn had made a statement, Vicki Crystal Lynn had made a statement about, you know, using protection, and then that when we use that protection, then we're blocking out the light as well as the dark. And usually the intention is to, okay, I want to block out that dark or that energy that doesn't feel good. And so for me personally, I'm, you know, sometimes building up a wall that I don't need to build up around me, you know, it's a giant brick wall. And, or to carry, you know, whatever it is, the black tourmaline or the thing, and make sure I've got the, you know, the protection around me. And I want to do little air quotes, but I'm holding my
no, let them come through.
But yeah, the little, you know, the protection. But so then also, you know, Vicki Crystal Lynn had mentioned the, you know, rather than doing that, you know, raising up the other person or the entity to our vibration. And it sounds wonderful and amazing to do that. The short of the question is, of course, like, well, how do we do that? Especially when the tendency is, oh no, I must have my protection for my wonderful energy because I need it to heal. And, you know, those of us that call ourselves light workers, and it's like, how do we, like, we can set that intention, but so I'm sending it over to you.
And I'm just allowing it to come forward in its purity because also too, I want my words to be in the most purity form. And so I always ask for that. And what it is you're learning your abilities. So when I first wake up in the morning, I set forward my intentions for the day. So I always set forward what is going to happen for that day. And I've talked about this, and it is, I call forth the highest potential of this day, that everything is at its highest potential, that I meet through the day. And I do this many times through my day. I do not just do it, and I change my words through my day. So when I first too awoken, I put all this kind of protection around me. And then I felt like you. I felt like I was caging myself in. Well, then it was so intense, I had got to a place that I had to break down the walls. And then it was so amazing because I was asking Airion, I was like, Airion, you got to show me. You got to show me. And he was like, well, let go of the protection. You built a wall around you.
Uh-huh.
I was stopping myself, but it's great learning, because you learn how you build this creation around you and how things are starting to suffocate you because you're putting yourself inside of a box. We were never meant to be that. So it's great learning too, not to judge that. It was great learning for my own light. And I put, what I did is when I put my protection, I put a still wall around me. I completely put a still wall. And you put a brick wall, and I felt that. And that's what we're putting. Whatever your intention is, that's what you're putting. But it stops, because energy is energy. And on the other side, they don't know light from dark because everything is just as it should be, you know? So they don't see darkness as a negative form like we do here in the human form. So it stops everything. It stops the light, it starts the negative, it stops everything from coming in. And so I as soon as Airion told me, I started breaking down the whole wall. Like I had an explosion of breaking down my wall. And then I asked Airion the same thing. Well, how do I do this, you know? And it took me many years. You've watched my ascension. You've watched me grow and expand. Took me years to understand you have to set forth your intentions for the day as soon as you wake. You got to keep your awareness going through the day by keeping breath. Oh, I feel heavy right now in my body. I feel exhausted in my body. Okay, I'm going to breathe. And for me, 3 deep breaths centers my energy, and then I can work from there. Because then your intentions and your intuitive is centered. You're balanced now with your source within when you take 3 breaths, because it grounds you. And so then the information can come back through of what needs to take forward in front of you. The darkness we need to encounter because we've set it up that way. The thing is, if you're pushing it off, I don't want to encounter this, I don't want to deal with this, you're going to experience it harder. And the reason you're experiencing harder is because, okay, we set up our life and we bring forward what we want to experience. So what happens is that we show ourselves, and the guides show us, okay, you need to work with this right now. And so maybe you stumble and you trip over yourself. It's gentle. But we're like, it's nothing. You know what I mean? We let it go. And just like me, I literally had to fall to the ground to realize I need to pay attention to here. I need to pay attention to what's going on, because life will stop you. Your body will stop you. And that's what happened to me last week when, I felt like I had broken my leg as I took a fall. It didn't end up that way, but in the beginning, it felt all that. And I was breaking a part of me. And it was so amazing, too. In the fire ceremonies, I had to break away from Vicki Lynn. I even burned rocks where I had put my name, Vicki Lynn. I burnt those rocks because we're going into an expression of our ownness. What that means is that the more you in tuned with yourself, then you're ready to face your day every day, whatever shows up. You don't need protection because everything is aligned because you've aligned it for that day. Now you can step out of alignment. So you ask for everything to be at its highest potential. Well, then you start looking for everything to be at its highest potential. Right there in that judgment I got to see if it's at its highest potential. Now you have switched that energy, and I know because I've done it. I've switched that energy to doubt.
Yes.
You know, I am doubting that it really is at its highest potential. So then doubt and fear start setting in. So then what do you create? Then energy is created out of chaos. And then and then it hits you a little bit harder. And then you're like, and what I do is I'm like, okay, I can feel myself where I stepped out of it. And then I breathe. I always go back to the breath. And in the beginning, it's kind of exhausting because you're breathing like 100 times a day. Sometimes it feels like 1,000,000 times a day. That's how it was for me. But then your body starts acclimating. And now what happens is my body is so in tune when it encounters something, my body starts usually responding before I have even focused on what's happening. I will start noticing that my breath starts breathing really deep. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And then I engage into what's going on. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. And it's usually chaos. And it can just be a room full of chaos. And then what happens is, okay, where do I need to be in this? And sometimes it's even at my, family. Family is hard because we're very connected to them. And sometimes it's, to go there to send love and drop light and leave. Because that's what we're doing. Because even though we walk through our day, we are light. And so wherever we walk, and when you feel that entity of you so present within yourself, and it's saying, drop light, even though it sounds ridiculous. I don't know if you, Allie, yourself, but for me, there's been many times that I'm like, I drove somewhere and I don't even know how I got there, but I knew I needed to be there for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah. And so many times, I will even walk into the store or whatever that place is, and I can just feel that I just need to drop the light. Each thing that we're going through in our life, that's why when you put protection around yourself, you don't allow yourself to be your true authentic self because you're learning your abilities. It is hard to go through this experience. It's hard to let go of a lot of stuff. It's hard to let go of the suffering. It's very hard. I know, I do it. But the thing is, it teaches you your abilities. Each step teaches you a new ability that you have. So as you are learning your new abilities about yourself, then you're like, wow, it's just like the work becomes easier because it's part of you now. And that's where I'm at. It's so part of me. Like right now, I see a blank slate in front of me. What does that mean? I don't know what's coming. But there's this building inside of me. And if somebody was to look at my life, it would look very scary to them. But I don't feel any fear. I feel nothing. All I feel is this building of excitement. And even though there's been moments that of scared and feared that have taken me down, deep, there's still this knowing that there's something big going to happen in my life now. It has to happen soon. And I can't tell you where it's coming from, but I know it's there. And by that in itself, I have trained my body to be its own protection. Because my body knows now what to do, even when I'm going through those deep states of darkness. I allow my body to rest. I allow my body to cry. I allow my body to be mad. I allow everything to surface. And it's so amazing because it's this overwhelming feeling that will pull through my whole body, and it's like, you need to go outside. Or like the other day, I just found myself, I was just standing there, and before I knew it, my hand was on the tree. And then I'm not even realized, and then I caught myself, my hand's on the tree, and I'm doing exactly what I need to do. So what happens is, when your body becomes so acclimated to how you have trained it to be, in its highest potential, and I don't tell it how to be, I just allow it to be at its highest potential. Through everything I do in my day, those are the words that I use, always to be at its highest potential. since then, you don't need protection because you're stopping part of you.
Wow.
You know, you're missing part of the experience that you came here to experience. You know?
That's beautiful.
So I hope that helped a little bit, a lot, I don't know, but
Yes. Yes, a lot. I wanted to say I appreciate your, your energy that you brought to this and your insight. And when I reflect it back, I think of my meditation practice that I've been, my screen just went, okay. My screen it popped up and it wanted me to enter a different password just now. Yeah.
wow.
I think I don't know if that's energy. Don't tell her about the meditation practice because.
Oh no, they're like, look at it differently. Like, stop, pay attention to this.
Yeah. Well, okay. well, so in my meditation practice, I've been, when I used to sort of try to do meditation before, I mean, I don't really try, and I would, find a guided meditation that was really clever from YouTube or something and listen and lie on my back and but it was a recording. It was somebody else's words. It wasn't me being in my body and being present and being with my breath and being where I need to be. And now that I've, in this past moon cycle, I've extremely improved my sitting meditation practice. And so when you were talking about, I'm trying to remember, you were talking about calling in and setting the intention, that ties in there perfectly. I'm just closing my eyes and centering here because I know what it was. Okay. You mentioned always trying to block the energy. And then in doing that, you're giving it more energy. And so in my meditation practice, you know how we sit there and our minds are spinning on, I hear street traffic, or what will I prepare for dinner, or who, and instead of telling yourself, no, stop, you must stop listening because but just the flow is my new word, and allow. I like that you use the word allow, because just allowing whatever will be and letting it, I don't know, the word alchemy is coming to my mind. Let it transmute, because my big thing is I've been able to shift energies. For example, I came out of it. There's that light that came through. I saw a light behind you. But the light is an amazing confirmation for me, because what I was about to say is I came through a major depression recently, or what I'm calling a depression. It's more like my soul was saying, hey, stop and listen. This is, and I did. And now that I've come through that, I've learned that I can, not only shift things, but now it's time to transmute. It's time to transform into, the next level, the next, whatever that looks like, the higher, the ascension, basically.
What I'm getting for you, Allie, personally, is right now is to just trust it. Just trust it. When we are transmuting, we're trusting this process. We're trusting it wholeheartedly. We are living it in our coreness, and that's where you're at. And that is a hard one for all of us. That is the hardest for all of us, is to trust, trust. And I have to say those even in the dark of my soul sometimes when I'm going through those moments. I trust this no matter what is showing up. Because I feel that when you're sitting here, you got it. Now embody it. That's where a lot of us, it took me a long time to embody it, because I seen it so outside of myself. And I was like you with meditation, the same. I would listen to YouTube videos on meditation. Well, then it wasn't my words. It wasn't my breath. It wasn't me. So then I started listening to tones, and those resonated more to me. So, or as sounds, or like well sounds or B sounds and that. And so then when my mind started racing, I started utilizing numbers. I would count. I would breathe and I would count. And then whenever something entered my mind, I would start over again on the counting. And so then I noticed that I would count higher. You know, I was like, how did I get this high without no thoughts coming in? And then all of a sudden the counting went away. And then like I hardly ever had anything running through my mind, ever. Now there is moments that I do, and I really pay attention to what that is. And then if I entrap myself into what that, because you can entrap yourself into that tape player, that consciousness that is always going within us, because we're connected to all. So sometimes I do, especially when it's connected to my family. Then that tape player that plays, then you know that you're connected to it because it keeps playing all day. You know, you keep playing it until you step off of that.
Yes.
Yes. And then I'm like, oh, okay, wow, I did that all day. I don't judge myself. I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? I caught myself. And then I'm like, okay, I know how to transmute this now. So then I let it run through me and I send it out. And even like right now, I could feel this energy of like water flowing over me. And
Wow.
And the amazing thing is like now I can't even tell you what that thought was that had kept playing over in my mind, because it's just like gone.
Beautiful.
So the more that you embody this, because you're training your body to act a different way. You know, like for me, I awoke in when I was 46, and then now I'm 55. And so it's taken me until this last year of my life to truly embody this. So with that, it was something that somebody had said once. It's like I literally took on the crystalline, when I changed my name to Vicki Crystalline, I took on that crystalline grid inside of me somehow, and I did. I feel that like right now. And so we are all letting go of all the masks that we have wore through our whole lives. So once you start being aware, you don't have to walk around with protection, because you know how to.
Wow.
You know how to work with it when it shows up in front of you or around you. You know immediately. So, and then things start showing up more of light.
Yes.
Not so much of darkness. They will put you in these real dark places, you know, or you put yourself there, you know, just to drop the light, nothing more. A lot of times, you know, I'm like, oh, I got to figure this out. No, you don't. That's a trap. Now I know that signal. As soon as I tell myself, I got to figure it out, that's my signal. That's a trap. Because it is, you know, and we are learning our different signals of our body, because you're relearning yourself. All of you, all of us, we are.
I glanced over when you said that, because I have a candle in the room, and after you said that, the flame just went wild. It just it just went into a wild dance.
I love that. I love that.
And yes, and Vicki Crystalline, I have to say also, I appreciate that you put the numbers in there with the ages and everything. I see them as numbers, and we all have our own process, and there's no right or wrong. I know that, but it just so happens I'm 48 years old, and 2 years ago at 46 is when I broke my spine, and I wanted to be out of the situation I was in. The job that I was in was just not serving my highest purpose at all. It was bringing me down, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. And the universe stepped in and said, we're going to give you this, you know, so-called injury, this blessing in disguise. And I'm saying so-called injury, even though it was was a serious injury, I see it as a lesson. I see it as, you know, the universe and the light stepping in and saying, okay, we're going to create this path for you. And so, you know, look over here. And it's very similar, I think, to what you were saying about when something keeps coming up, like, oh, I've got to figure this out. You know, to me, that's like the 3D, the physical, you know, because I have a lot of air in my, you know, I'm a Gemini ascending, and I have a Libra moon, but I'm Capricorn sun. So it's like this air, this energy, it's always wanting to, my brain is like you said, like a trap, like a steel trap. It wants to get in and like figure everything out. And even the things, you know, I'm a writer too. So it's like, I'll use my journals to go back and like remember, oh, what did I write on that day? And none of that matters. None of that, like all that, you know. And another thing I just wanted to add, Vicki Crystalline, is when you were talking about the knowing, and I think there was one day, it was a Facebook meme or something that you shared about, you know, where we're going, we don't need this memory where we have to look up, what did I write on the calendar on, because that kind of memory, the 3D memory, is just, we don't need it. It's not serving us. And I see that as the flow, what you were saying about standing, I call it standing in my truth. Standing in my truth, standing in my intention, and I'm really grateful that you use that, setting the intention. Yeah. You know, I just came through a major experience also where I was doing some serious work, some serious like facilitator training of where I want to go with my light work, my gifts, and I was triggered by what I thought was this person, this, you know, this character that was set on the stage. And I started building those bricks up around me that, oh my goodness, I went, you know, and my body felt it too. The next day, my body, you know, just went into like nausea and, you know, and I physically could not go out. And so my body gets really serious. It says, hey, you got to look at this, you know. I mean, it's not my body doing that, but, you know, spirit.
It is,
yeah,
because your body's having a consciousness of you, and in every cell of you is you. You know, so all this, you're doing it to you. That's a lot to wrap your mind around. But when you're embodying all of you. So now your body's responding. Pay attention here. And just like you had a major thing, the same thing with me. I was in, you know, 2 years of almost dying. Doctors didn't even know if I was going to make it. But the thing is, it stops you. It shows you a new way, you know, and then everything starts clicking in. But, you know, as we evolve, we entrap ourselves because we try to figure it out, try to push it to make it happen, try to use our abilities. I gotta share these with the world. But the thing is that and I'm learning all this too. It has to come to us because we are that. And that's what's happening with me. It's coming to me because I am that. I don't have to push to make it happen. And I'm learning that this lesson right now, just as I speak. You know, because I'm trying to, in a way, try to push to make things happen, because there is a part of me that's kind of scared because you don't see the blank slate in front of you. That just feels so heavy and wrong to me. So I let that go, and I just know that the universe and I have got myself. My higher self and me have got myself.
Yes.
Absolutely. And it's all going to come to me because it has to come a new way. We're in new energy on a new earth plane. You sitting here right now, you're on new earth, you know, and we're learning new ways. And so by doing that is we don't have to, I got to push all this out. It's all going to come to you at the right moment, at the right time, because then you're ready. Because you're going to shine at your highest potential then. You know, that's what I'm asking for. A lot of us, are letting go of a lot of stuff that we've held on for eons, not just in this lifetime, in many lifetimes, because we're a multiverse being. So we're not just clearing this lifetime, we're clearing all lifetimes that led us up to this moment right here, right now, Allie. So think about that. That's a lot to think about.
Yes.
And that's a celebration, you know, a celebration that you went through all these lifetimes to be where you are right now at this very moment, and how light you are, how we all are, and how we know we got this. We've always had it, you know, truly, always. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I'm just touching my heart right now. And when I heard your words, when I heard you say, I'm learning this too, I felt it. And I wanted to just, you were saying drop light. I wanted to just spritz you with some light and like sprinkle it your way, because, you know, we are all in this together. And the embodiment is really important too. This past moon cycle, you know, from the full moon in February until this full moon, we just had this beautiful bright moon a few days ago, full moon. It was a powerful cycle for me, and this one, of course, is more powerful. But it was just a time of so many things shifting and transforming. And so what I started, another thing I added before my meditation is dancing. And, you know, yeah, thank you. And I see it, I don't see dancing as learning the steps or, you know, anything like that. I see it as moving energy. And that's, you know, that's the transmutation, transforming, all that is just moving this energy and just letting it, you know.
It's so true, because when you move the body, you do move the energy, and your body loves to dance. Your body loves to dance.
Yeah, it's joy.
Yeah, it's just joy, and it just always makes me feel good. It's so funny because I am so that. I will be anywhere and I will just start dancing, and my granddaughter, she's so funny. She's like, "Are you serious, Nana?" But you just feel it, you know, and then you just gotta release it, and then and it always makes people smile, you know. And even when you dance yourself, when you're doing your moves, it makes your body, and you instantly start smiling. I do. And did you know that when you smile, instantly sends a chemical into your body of happiness and joy?
Yes.
You're faking a smile. It sends in neurons, I don't even know. It sends in these chemicals that just ignite your system. So just a smile really does activate your life.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. So I think that we're good. I think that I am going to do Facebook Live today. So I'm not sure when. I would love it if you'd come on and join and bring forth some, you know, more information, because we're all bringing forth our own bits and pieces. We're all adding to the whole. So it's true, and it's powerful. And like everybody that I'm meeting, there's such a bonding. I can't even explain it. It's just, you know, when we said that we were one before, you feel we are one now. I feel we are one now. So.
Yes, and Jackie Bird there just flew up to the next limb.
Thank you, Jackie. I love it. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you, Allie. I thank you for bringing this forward.
I love you too.
Absolutely. I know that you are an amazing light, amazing light. And you got this. You truly do got this.
Yeah, we got this.
We got this. It's true. We got this. And that's the amazing part, is that it's in community that we will find our strength. You know, truly.
Yes.
All the pieces are coming together. And so that's why I stay very in tune with a lot of people. And when people write me, I respond back. sometimes I don't, but it's not meant to. And sometimes people send me stupid stuff, and well, I didn't mean to say stupid stuff. I didn't mean to say I did it, but yeah, sometimes, you know, it's just like, yeah. And then I don't respond because it's, you know what I mean? It's, yeah. You know? So everybody's on their own wave of enlightenment. And so, you know, a lot of people don't see, they see me as, you know, how they need to see me. I won't even, absolutely. So, absolutely. So
well, we're sending them all some light right here.
Right now. Absolutely, absolutely. So I send love to all of you, and I send love to you, Allie, and thank you for bringing this forward, and thank you for bringing your light. You're so of love, and may you all be blessed. Truly
Yes.
be blessed.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.